What is up, my dudes? We've got the Corporate Esports Association Dota 2 Spring 2019 tournament going on. Today we've got Middle Newsfeed representing Facebook and Canada Whoopass, or Motion in the Roshan as they're listed in the brackets, representing Microsoft. Now, fair warning, I am playing in this game and I'm drafting, so this may be a little bit biased, but I've been giving some flack to the other teams in this league, so I feel like I should dish out the hate to myself as well, just to be fair. Just try not to be too biased. So I open with a Shadow Shaman ban. I just don't feel very comfortable myself playing Shadow Shaman, so I'd rather just not go up against him in general. Shadow Shaman, very strong hero right now. Oracle, another very strong hero right now. Did get nerfed a bit after the previous Star Ladder Major. He was probably the MVP of that tournament. Still a very strong hero though, for that strength in the early game laning. It's just something that we didn't really want to deal with. Viper Bear coming out of Canada Whoopass, so I think they did some homework on our team, from what I believe, because our mid player does play a lot of Viper. And Ursa coming out from Canada Whoopass as well. Very common pick right now. Is a very strong hero. So it makes a lot of sense to ban.
Ten seconds to pick. 5 seconds. Hurry, hurry! Dire's ban.
And Lifestealer ban coming out. Lifestealer, another pretty popular hero right now.
Only 10 seconds. Radiant team are now picking.
A Shadow Fiend ban. So I think this is like another thing where they looked at our mid player and was like, oh, this guy plays a lot of Shadow Fiend, let's ban him. So very much respect to Canada Whoopass doing their homework, banning the Shadow Fiend out. We opened with a Razor pick. Razor is a pretty flexible hero. He can, one of the few heroes these days who can actually go into all 3 lanes and dominate. So a very safe first pick.
10 seconds to pick. Dire team pick.
Sand King coming out of Canada Whoopass. So Sand King has fallen off a little bit. He had his glory days when Caustic Finale did 1 billion damage early on the lane. It's been nerfed pretty hard. Don't see him too much anymore. At this point, we weren't really sure if this Sand King was going to be the 3 or the 4. Back in Sand King's heyday, he was a pretty prominent 3 position, but these days, probably see him more as a 4 position. That's what we were thinking.
Radiant team pick.
Crystal Maiden coming out of Canada Whoopass, so it's a pretty decent combo. Sand King pretty low on mana, so the Crystal Maiden mana aura is quite nice. But this lane, these 2 supports don't really strike much fear into the heart of Razor. Burrow Strike, not a very long cooldown. Generally don't put too many points into Frostbite early on. Especially
10 seconds to pick.
The lower level players tend to put more points into aura. I as a CM player myself, I don't agree with that at all. I think put more points into aura, you're just inviting yourself to be not very useful. And we also pick Nyx in this phase. Sand King and Crystal Maiden both have large AoE damage, uncontrollable damage that you can just counter with a Spike Carapace. The Sandstorm from the Sand King and the Freezing Field from the Crystal Maiden could just easily get countered by the Nyx Assassin. So we've already put the 2, what we believe Sand King is a support at this point, and Crystal Maiden definitely a support. We believe that these 2 are the supports, and Nyx Assassin shits on both of them, so it's a pretty strong pick from the side of Middle Newsfeed. So we banned the Lycan because we don't want to deal with split pushing. Razor appreciates head-on fights, so we don't want to deal with that strategy altogether. It's Silencer ban coming out from Can of Whoop-Ass. Again, another hero that maybe plus CCY plays a lot. So doing their homework a lot. Enigma, we banned Enigma because he is pretty great at teamfight, and we don't have anything right now that can cancel BKBs. To be fair, this wasn't, like, if I could be critical of our bans, we banned Lifestealer, but we picked Razor right away afterwards, so that was probably not the best pick ban combination. Razor doesn't really care too much about Lifestealer. He just sap his damage away. Lifestealer gets most of his damage from long drawn out fights. Razor's also very good at that. At the same time, we banned Enigma, and we had another support to pick at this point. We could have picked Rubik if they put out Enigma, so it probably wasn't the best ban, to be honest. A PA ban out of Can of Whoop-Ass is something like generic ban. And this is where I think Can of Whoop-Ass's draft really fell apart. The third pick, Zeus. Zeus, a prominent mid laner. Very rarely see him in the off lane. That used to happen. Most likely going to be the mid laner. Has a lot of trouble against Nyx Assassin. The static field, it did get changed recently to not be as countered by Nyx Assassin. You actually have to get hit by the spell to get static field damage now, which is an interesting change, I think. So less countered by the Nyx, but still a pretty vulnerable pick as well. Zeus has a lot of lane matchups that he doesn't do very well in, so if you're gonna pick Zeus, you should pick him in the last pick position, the last slot, not this early on. I picked Bane for myself. I'll be playing the Bane as Vintage. And Bane Razor, a great combo. You just sleep them, sap the damage away, and then have this beefed up Razor. He's also a very strong lane support right now. He's always going to be strong. Very tanky, very hard to trade with him. The Wraith King put us off the track a little bit. Wraith King used to be very popular as an offlaner during TI last year, but fallen off a lot. And we picked the TA to counter this Zeus. This Zeus is going to have a pretty rough lane. At this point, we forced this draft to go into two directions. They're going to have to sack the Zeus completely, put him in mid, and just like have him lose to the Temper Assassin. Or they can try and like work their way into having a different mid in this last pick, which is again all sorts of. They've really put themselves in a corner with this pick in the third position. Wraith King, again, like I was trying to say earlier before I got off topic, Wraith King used to be very popular offlaner, but these days we see him more as a position 1, but he's very greedy. It's kind of like Lifestealer, but you don't feel the benefits as much. You want to go minus Radiance. But he just like doesn't feel as good as Lifestealer. You're still going to buy a BKB for yourself before you're ready to fight. Lifestealer has the benefit of not needing a BKB. They banned Anti-Mage, which was a really good ban. They've got Crystal Maiden and Zeus for us to deal a lot of damage. The mana burn on the Wraith King prevents his ultimate from going off. The Anti-Mage would have been a really good pick for us, so good ban from Can of Whoop-Ass.
Only 10 seconds. Radiant team are now picking.
So we're not really sure that this Wraith King is going to be the carry or not. We're looking to fight early. We've got the TA who falls off later in the game. Razor also falls off a little bit later in the game, so we don't want to go late against the enemy team. So we picked Spectre. We banned Spectre to prevent Can of Whoop-Ass from outscaling us in the late game.
10 seconds to pick.
And this last pick, we're still... Our lanes are... These three heroes, the Nyx, the Bane, the TA, their lanes are pretty set. At least their roles are. So we're trying to figure out if Razor should be the carry or the offlaner. And we've got 2 minutes left on the clock, so we just decided to talk this one out. But overall, this draft has gone pretty fast. Both teams not digging into too much reserve time. Of course, we Use all our reserve time on this pick just to make sure we have the right choice here. We didn't use much before this, and even Ken of Whoopass only used 30 seconds on the reserve time, so they must have... It seems like they had a plan going in as well.
Dire team pick.
Go with the Monkey King. So it's going to be the offlane Razor and the position 1 Monkey King. Monkey King can also go mid, but we already have this TA versus Zeus matchup, which is incredibly TA favored. So we're feeling pretty confident about at least one of our 3 lanes. Razor is also a great laner. If we can get him in lane with the Wraith King, then this will be a pretty easy lane for him as well. That's already 2 out of 3 lanes secured. Even the Monkey King does really well against Wraith King. Whoever's up against the Wraith King will have a great time. So we've already secured 2 of our lanes with this Monkey King pick. And it's up to Ken of Whoopass to come up with a last pick that can, you know, try and salvage at least one of the lanes. So Zeus not going to win his lane, and Wraith King probably not going to win his lane either. Ken of Whoopass responding with the Weaver pick. This was pretty creative. Weaver, not the most prominent hero right now, did get buffed a little bit. The Gemini attack does bonus damage on the second hit now, which is actually pretty sick. It just feels a little bit underwhelming. He just dies really quickly. Main thing, the bug gets squished pretty easily. But a pretty creative pick that can deal with both the Razor and the Monkey King okay. But yeah, I mean, our draft, the Facebook draft looks a lot smoother. There's already 2 lanes that are guaranteed to win, so this Monkey King is really the big question mark here. Let's hop into the game. So on the side of Facebook, we've got ABC on the Nyx, Rockhawk on the Monkey King, GE on the Razor, GH, not the real GH unfortunately. I've played with him, he's not as good as the real GH on the TA, and Vintage, myself on the Bane. Side of Motion in the Roshan, or Ken of Whoopass, Saren on the Sand King, Mr. Bont on the Weaver, Bomberman on the Crystal Maiden, Sid the Kid on the Legend on the Wraith King, and Patient Disciplined Man on the Zeus. So straight away, what we tried to do was send our supports out to scout what the lanes were going to be. We wanted the Razor to go up against the Wraith King, so I walked up this hill to confirm that the Weaver was here. Immediately, you start sending Razor top and the Monkey King to bot. Monkey King probably does worse against the Weaver than the Razor, but we really wanted to shut down this Wraith King completely, so put the Razor top instead. We also swapped the supports as well. Bane, we wanted the Bane Sleep combo with the Razor Link. It's a pretty nice combo. There's a pretty nice combo down here as well. The Boundless Strike into the Impale is a long disable.
It's time.
Although at level 1 is pretty tricky, 0.4 seconds. So we need more points in the Boundless Strike before you can get this combo off a bit better. But it's still a pretty strong combo. Zeus getting a decent block. TA getting a decent block. This Nyx with the quad mango, 7.5 HP regen per second. That's like having a tango up all the time. This makes it pretty invincible in lane. It's probably why we've been seeing a lot of Nyx recently. Razor sapping 52 damage from the Wraith King just with the sleep and static link combo alone. So the Wraith King can no longer last hit. Didn't pick up a Quelling Blade, so if you pick up a Quelling Blade, they may have changed this recently, I believe. Yeah, it adds flat damage instead of percentage damage now, so it would have been nice to get that plus 24 damage from the Wraith King. It doesn't get affected by the static link, so at least you have a non-zero chance of getting last hits. Bane just smacking the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden, not a very strong lane support. She's skilled Frostbite level 1, so she only has mana to use one of them. And yeah, it just can't really do much against Bane. Bane sleeps himself though. I remember doing this. This is really embarrassing. I missed the first blood on the CM. If I managed to sleep the CM, I would have gotten first blood pretty easily. Impale onto the Sand King. Uses the Boundless Strike as FOB. The Nyx didn't even need the Monkey King to set up for the Impale. Tries to use the Spike Carapace to stun the Weaver. Another AoE uncontrollable damage. This one you can control a little bit better as long as you don't run into the Nyx, but sometimes you're not expecting the Nyx and he just Spike Carapaces you and you die. Very good counter against the Weaver. CEA owning the Zeus in the mid lane. 11-5 versus 6-1. And this Razor, 42 stolen damage, another sleep Razor sleep static link combo, and Monkey King gets another kill on the Weaver. They got an Impale off into a Boundless Strike. Nyx pay with his life for it. There's a lifesteal out on the Monkey King. It'll be okay, it's gonna salve up. Nyx not being able to get these Impales without any setup as well. Good stuff coming out of ABC. It's not the easiest stun to land. Weaver uses her Shikuchi early. Threatens to harass a bit, but sees the Nyx, so backs off. Haste Rune at bot. TA sees it, Zeus doesn't, so we'll see if TA decides to go for the Haste Rune. She's got a bottle already, so gonna see some aggressive moves coming out of the TA. Maybe go for a bot rotation, maybe go back to mid, kill this Zeus at 150 HP. He has a bottle now, so he can start healing up a bit. It's top lane. Wraith King, only 3 last hits. I feel it's pretty miserable to go up against this Razor. It just saps all your damage away. Not much you can do about it. Sand King just chilling here with a Sandstorm. Isn't able to farm the jungle creeps, unfortunately. TA, she's got a Haste Rune. Can kill this Zeus pretty much whenever with Refraction is up. But she needs to clear the creep wave first so they don't break the Refraction charges. Very important as the TA player to manage your Refraction charges. Top lane, a static link comes out onto the Wraith King. The CM gets smacked a few times by the Bane. Razor accidentally attacks the CM before the sleep comes off. So sleeps himself, the Bane was stunned, so he couldn't cancel the Nightmare on the Razor. But Razor gonna outrun down this Wraith King and get the kill. TA activates the Haste Rune, manages to get the Regen Rune away from the Zeus, and he's just gonna run at the Zeus now. Zeus not able to break the Refraction. GH not able to get the kill onto the Zeus, unfortunately. 1 hit away. So close. Nice heads up play from the Zeus, being able to TP out.
You thought you were
Weaver going for a Desolator. Just queuing up a Desolator roll. No boots required. Weaver almost as slow as CM. Nice Burrow Strike coming out from the Sand King, but no follow-up from the Weaver. And this Nyx, still with 3 mangoes left, he's just gonna regen it all up. 2 points in the Crystal Arcane Aura from the Crystal Maiden. Not really the build that helps you in this lane, but this lane is pretty rough. There's not much the CM can do in this lane at all. If there was anything that Amazon, Canada Whoop-Ass could do better, it could probably maybe swap the lanes around, but unfortunately the way the current meta works, see, Weaver's TPing top now, but that means Razor can just TP bottom. A nice stun onto the Razor, but they don't have enough damage to take him out. Sleep onto the Crystal Maiden to prevent another Frostbite. And this Zeus just gonna get dove by the Nyx Assassin, gets an Impale off. And GH will get the kill on the Zeus. Wraith King coming bottom now. Laning with the Sand King, 2 back-to-back stuns on the Monkey King, but they won't have the damage to take him out. Regen out on the TA, has the Refraction, so they can't break it. She's gonna have a lot of mana here. Zeus goes down again after TPing into the lane, so he's gonna have to walk back to lane. He wants to come back to mid, unfortunately. It's very unfortunate. Templar Assassin already a full level ahead of the Zeus, almost 2 full levels ahead of the Zeus. This is looking pretty rough for him. The Crystal Maiden's gonna go down as well. 3 hits from Templar Assassin, and she will just feed her life over. It's really is the problem with Crystal Maiden right now. She's just a little bit too weak in the lanes. They buffed her ultimate a lot, but you gotta make it to the level 6 to get any value out of it. Even then, there's so many ways to cancel the freezing field. There's this Spike Carapace, there's Nightmare and Fiend's Grip, Boundless Strike. There's a lot of ways to cancel the CM or ulti. TM cancels TP's mid again to try and save the Zeus, but Zeus dies anyway, and it looks like CM's gonna die again. A bit of a casual feed from the CM. She is looking to run away, but is very slow. 298 move speed. Another Psionic Trap comes out, and this CM is dead. On top lane, there was a kill on the Weaver. Nightmare into Static Link. Looks like the Weaver uses Shikuchi early. There's also a nice sentry here, so the Weaver uses Shikuchi, you just Nightmare him, wait out the Shikuchi, and then kill him afterwards. Only 740 HP on this Weaver, so very, very squishy. Gonna go back for the Treads now instead of going straight for the Desolator. Gonna get some more stats. And already is 7k gold advantage at 7 minutes in. We often talk about the 1k GPM advantage per minute, 1k GPM per minute advantage as the unwinnable threshold, and this is already pretty close to that. So this win rate looking pretty rough. The win rate looking rough for Can of Warpass already. A lot of people in mid. This is the party out here. A sentry down in mid for the sign of Can of Warpass. Very important if you're up against the TA. You really needed to have a sentry to protect your mid laner against the TA traps. Otherwise, they're just gonna beat. Nice Ray Fire Blast onto the Nyx Assassin. Burrow Strike follow up, and the Nyx Assassin dies. Bit of a feed there. Bane eating another Burrow Strike, but doesn't really care. Bane, a very tanky support, 800 HP, and you've got this Brain Sap as well, it makes it really hard to kill you. This Razor just trying to drain the Weaver's damage, already gets 42 damage before the Shikuchi can outrun the Static Link. Normally we've been seeing a lot of Quox and Mirana against Razor, because it's a little bit faster than just running away with the Shikuchi. TA gets another kill on the Zeus. Zeus in poverty land now. He's only got 1.8k net worth. Actually, all of the heroes on the side of the Dire team are pretty low. CM will go down again. Templar Assassin is owning. Bane? Getting himself a little bit of trouble. Tries to go for the Nightmare, but manages to not get it out in time. Sleeps himself to dodge the last hit, but ends up dying anyway. The Monkey King ulti comes out, but the Sand King is invis, so there's not much he can do. Walks out of the Burrow Strike, the Sandstorm range though. Zeus is here. He's got the Thunderbolt, Thunder God's Wrath. Monkey King doesn't manage to dodge it with the Mischief, ends up going down. So pretty good rotation from the Zeus overall. This Nyx Assassin comes in, gets the kill on the Ray King. Not quite level 6 yet. Not too sure if the break on the Vendetta cancels the reincarnation. Someone's gonna have to go into the lab for that. 2 for 2 bounty runes going the way of going for each team. Zeus manages to get the haste before seeing the TA and runs away in fear. A nice sleep onto the CM. CM's gonna die.
Your death was a...
Sand King has mana boots if he wants to grab them. Like he will. Monkey King going for an Echo Saber. He's doing pretty well. Got pressured a little bit by the Weaver, but not too much. Everyone on the side of Can of Warpass is pretty poor right now. There's already an 8k gold advantage. Atos coming out on the Razor. A pretty good item on the Razor. It gives him a way to cancel TPs and keep them in place for more juicy damage from the Static Link. Nice observer board from the side of Facebook. Spotting out the rotations. A little bit too far away from the Lightning Bolt to find it. A nice deep ward. This is really the way to play against this. You gotta put wards where they're not expecting it. Sand King will go down, put a sentry down in mid, gets Boundless Strike, and another tap for the Monkey King will get the kill. There's still a lot of people in mid there, not being very efficient with the farm. TA manages to get stunned. They have detection in mid, unfortunately. So we'll get stunned, but it seems nothing of it. Nyx is here now. He gets an Impale, long range, onto the Zeus. Zeus is gonna go down. Nice side blade, killing the Wraith King as well. And the Crystal Maiden's just gonna go down. On the side. Oh yeah, okay, Monkey King. He got a kill onto Sand King earlier. I was a little bit confused there. Sand King was also dead. Weaver, pretty much the last hope for Cannibal Bass. He's the only one who has, even then he doesn't have that much fun. He's the highest net worth on the team, but they're all kind of around the same level of poor. Even the Sand King is around the same level. Atos coming out onto the Razor already. Gets the static link onto the Weaver, but there's not much damage left. Fiend's Grip comes out onto the Zeus. Wraith King uses Wraith Fire Blast onto the Razor, not the Bane. Couldn't see the Bane, unfortunately, for the stun. So 2 will go down on the side of Cannibal Bass. And there's the Atos on the Razor. CM stuck in the trees, and the 20 armor is not going to help you against the pure damage Brain Sap. Another static link comes out onto the Wraith King, but they don't really have much to catch him. It's the Vendetta to get some more movement speed, but the Impale's out of range. There's no fear coming out of the side of Facebook.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked. Dire's structures are fortified.
Weaver TPing in, drops some bugs, but doesn't hit the TA. TA would have just farmed that up for a juicy 20 gold. Sand King going for a Burrow Strike. It's a Sandstorm off. Doesn't break all the refraction charges yet. It doesn't hit that fast. It is damage over time, but not the fastest damage over. Yeah, Zeus not even having arcane boots yet, so pretty heavy time. Bane sees the Sand King and just like, it's time to get out of here. There's 3 heroes chasing him, 2 heroes chasing him now. The Weaver comes in, drops the sentry, so you can see the Weaver chasing him, but they're not going to pursue. Monkey King going for the max trick dance. I really like this a lot. I think more carry Monkey King should be going for this. It just helps you farm so much faster than Jingu or the Boundless Strike. Especially later on, you take this 400 Primal Spring damage and you can one-shot the creep waves. It always feels really good. Nyx going for a Meteor Hammer, just trying to style on them a bit. A nice Fiend's Grip coming out of the Bane again from behind the trees, so no way that the Weaver can respond here. And they steal the kill away from the Bane, which is feels bad.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
Alright, GH coming in with against the Sand King. Sand King gets the epicenter off, but that doesn't do enough damage. They're too far ahead on the side of Facebook. Right, another lightning bolt comes out onto the next Zeus. He's on his own. He's gonna go down. The Boundless Strike cancels the freezing field. TA is godlike already. Oh no. Yes, TA is godlike. Yes. Monkey King is on a killing spree. Go for a BKB next, knowing that after he gets BKB, there's nothing to stop him. TA already has a Deso. It seems like it's a little bit slow compared to how free her game has been, but there were a lot of people mid earlier. There's constantly 3 heroes mid. TA just wants to hit creeps for a while until she gets Blink Deso. Pretty close to her Blink now, 900 gold away. After that, she'll be able to just instantly kill anyone. Another side trap forward, so this TA can run forward with no fear. She's beyond godlike. Very easy lane for this TA. Drops another trap. We'll see if she wants to go for the Sand King. Gets the refraction up before the Burrow Strike. The majority of Sand King's damage is just gone now. Nice Impale onto the Wraith King. Mana burn. But it's not enough to reduce all the mana of Wraith King, but he's just gonna die anyway. There's so many people here now.
Quite a spree.
Nice two-man Burrow Strike onto the Sand King. Gets three people with the bugs on the Weaver, but they have to run. There's not much left on the table for damage. There's no Epicenter right now. That's their main damage. TA gets another... Oh, Razor finishes it off. He's going for a pipe, so he's trying to negate that magic damage from the Zeus. Thunder God's Wrath comes out, but to no avail. And this Razor, he's fearless, he's got the hood, he doesn't care. 133 stolen damage. Doesn't manage to get the ATOS on time on the Weaver, so he will Shikuchi out of there. Meanwhile, this Monkey King is just free farming. Doesn't even need to join his team. They're gonna get this tower at top as well. At bot, sorry. Yeah, they're gonna get both towers. The top tower and the bot tower at the same time. Go for the mid tower and then go for Roche. It's a nice, easy game plan coming out from the side of Facebook.
Bottom tower is in pieces.
The win rate pretty much at 100% at this point. We'll just see how long it takes for Facebook to close this one out. Honestly, not a whole lot. You rarely see this happen where the entire side of one team is above net worth of like everyone else on the other team. That's when you know you're in a lot of trouble. Bane falling behind the Wraith King a little bit, not hitting last creeps. Another Impale Vendetta onto the CM, but this is the Impale. She will die eventually. She can't run away. And nice grip onto the Zeus. The only person left to cancel the Fiend's grip is the Zeus with the Lightning Bolt. Full team wipe coming out on the side of... full team wipe on Roshan and the Roshan. Meteor Hammer onto the tower.
Middle tower taking damage.
Creep waves are finally coming in. They have this Desolator to take out the tower a bit faster as well. They're gonna go higher ground before the Roche going for Roche because they see... They just feel so far ahead. Nice high ground ward here. It does get de-watered pretty often. Guess there was a bit of miscommunication here. If Facebook were looking to go high ground, this ward would have been great. Now it's just probably going to get de-watered, so not the best. Sand King so far away from his blink at this point. It's not going to get it for a really long time. Aether Lens almost complete, just a recipe away. Disassemble the Arcane Boots, and so you can get the Aether Lens. The Aether Lens brings more value than the Arcane Boots will ever, so it's really not worth holding on to the Aether Lens. You also get the mana regen from the Void Stone, so it's pretty nice. I actually think it's a pretty big mistake if you don't disassemble the Aether Lens. Atos onto the Weaver, gets a static link off, but she's still Shikuchi'd. Sand King goes for the Bane, but doesn't have enough damage to kill him. This Razor, face taking 3 heroes with the Hood of Defiance and gets out alive, doesn't really care. Sleep onto the Wraith King, but gets cancelled by the Plasma Field. Nice Impale to follow up, and Wraith King is gonna die again, only level 8. Nice Atos onto the Wraith King and he will fall. And they're gonna go high ground with this. The one silver lining is that Roshan and the Roshan, the respawn timers are less than 30 seconds long. A wasted Meteor Hammer, unfortunately, for the Nyx Assassin. 28k gold advantage already, so definitely past the 1k GPM per minute threshold. TA, no fear, blinks into 3 heroes and gets away, just walks out scot-free. The Freezing Field comes out from the CM, there's nothing to cancel it, but she looks like she just backs out. Another Fiend's Grip onto the Weaver. And Facebook just diving deep, but only Razor and Monkey King are here. Razor does end up going down, but Monkey King, his godlike, gets stunned before he can get his Wukong commands off. Goes for another Wukong command, gets cancelled by the Lightning Bolt, but now he manages to get it off. Plus 20 armor, 18 armor, so pretty good against the Wraith King. And a Rampage for the Monkey King. Meanwhile, TA is the only one who's focused on the objectives. Everyone else just wants to spawn camp, but she's the only one going for objectives. Now she's going in for the kills, so no one pushing the tower and the racks in mid. Nice 2-man Impale from the Nyx Assassin. Gets a nice bugs out. Nyx will probably die here, but everyone else manages to TP out before then. TA going back for the racks. Bane also goes down. And they can't actually get the racks, so they actually hold the racks somehow. But honestly, at this point, they get the 31k gold ahead. They should just grab the Aegis and then go again. A lot of buybacks coming out of the side of Motion and the Roshan. Buyback on the Zeus, buyback on the Wraith King. Yule's coming out of the Razor. He's already got the Atos, so the Atos and the Yules, they kind of serve the same purpose. I don't really see the point of getting both of them. The Ags, pretty important. There's not much tower push on the way of Facebook's team. The Desolator is nice, but TA still doesn't do that much damage to buildings. The Meteor Hammer is also a great way to buff up the tower damage. Like, look at this. The Bane and the Razor just hitting the Shrine. It's gonna take them so long to take out the Shrine. GH on the side takes out the Zeus. That's a dieback from the Zeus. She's got a double damage rune. It's probably killed him in like 2 hits. Yeah. A sentry gets put down on the cliff but instantly dewatered by the TA. I'm gonna go back into mid. Zeus down for 50 seconds. Not much he can do. Doesn't have buyback. Nick's stalking around a little bit. Turns on the Spike Carapace in case the CM sees him and tries to frostbite him. You gotta take this tower. Pretty little contest. It's not a whole lot that Motion of the Roshan do. Fiend Script onto the Weaver. A nice epicenter comes in, but only gets 1 hero. And everyone on the side of Motion of the Roshan is dead. They're gonna go for the throne. This game gonna end pretty soon. Don't think they'll anyone from the side of Microsoft will be up for them. And a pretty convincing game coming out of Facebook. They just had a better draft overall. The Zeus really put them in a corner, and the draft kind of just fell apart after that.
Dire's Ancient is taking damage.
Oh, looks like we're going for the fountain. The diving the fountain. TA or beyond godlike. Yeah, Monk King also beyond godlike still.
Dire's Ancient is under attack.
Double kill for the TA.
You came too close to see. It just keeps getting better.
And just toying around with the opponents a little bit. GG gets called by the Zeus. And yeah, just a clear outdraft, honestly. I think Motion of the Roshan, they made some pretty good moves overall. I thought that Sand King played okay, but just generally the hero lineup was pretty pub-like. Not much coming out on the side of Motion in the Roshan. Pretty low GPM overall, so definitely feels bad.